Easy Elite English Educational Trust. Prepositions are the trickiest part in English. When you write English, prepositions are one of the most trickiest parts. And the most often confused and the widest usage you will find in preposition of. And it is the most commonly used, the most commonly confused, and the shortest and the simplest one. So here we have for junior level students certain guidelines on the important use of this preposition. First, let us see in what are the circumstances in which the preposition of is used. We know that it is not possible to give a complete list, but still this is a guideline, just a guideline on the use of preposition of for junior level students. Now, what we said, prepositions are the trickiest part and the most widely used preposition in most diverse contexts and nuances is of. So we are trying to make this confusion a bit easier by providing some guidelines. Of is used to refer to a smaller thing as a part of a larger thing. A smaller thing or object is a part of a larger object or larger thing. Tire of the car. Tire is a smaller thing. It is a part of the larger object car. The handle of the cooker. The handle is a smaller thing. It's a part of the larger object, the pressure cooker. The head of the screw. The head is a small part of the entire screw. A finger of my left hand. A finger is a small part of a larger organ, that's your hand. The hands on the clock. The hands are a smaller part of the larger thing, clock. So when a smaller thing is a part of a larger thing, then we can use the preposition of. Second, of is used in position, that is when you are referring to the position in reference to an object. There is an object or there is a place, and in reference or in respect of that object or place, you have to refer to a particular position. The top of the hill. The hill is an object and you have to refer to a particular position, the top of the hill. The bottom of the glass. The glass is an object and you have to refer to a particular position, that is the bottom. Front of the building. The building is an object and you have to refer to a particular position, that is the front of the building. To the left of the tower. Here you have a tower and you have to refer to a position in reference to the tower, that is to the left of the tower. So a position in reference to an object or a position in respect of an object, the top, the bottom, the front. So the top of the hill, the bottom of the glass, the front of the building, to the left of the tower. Then, of is used to refer to a property or feature or characteristics. Some characteristics, some features, some properties. Color of the dress. Dress is an object and the color, blue, red or whatever it might be, the color is one property of the object. The height of the man. The man is an object and you are referring to the height, which is one property of the man. Length of the rod. The rod is an object. You are referring to one feature or one characteristic, that is the length. Radius of the circle. A circle is a figure. You are referring to one particular property, that is the radius of the circle. Of is also used to refer to an adjective-noun relationship. when the relationship is of adjective noun. President of India is actually Indian president, Indian being the adjective. Emperor of Japan is a Japanese emperor, Japanese being the adjective. Index of refraction or refractive index. Force of buoyancy or the buoyant force. This is the adjective. Forces of friction, the frictional forces. This is the adjective. Point of focus, the focal point, adjective. So they are actually adjective-noun relationship, but when the noun comes before the adjective, we use the word of. And we also use both of them as noun. We are not saying point of focal, we are saying point of focus, but focal point. We are not saying forces of frictional, we are saying forces of friction, but frictional forces. But in some cases, the thing may not be so obvious. Of is used for a descriptive reference. In the month of July, you can also say in July. You could have said in July. You are describing July as a month. July is a month, we can say in July. But you are saying in the month of July, month, you are describing it. At the age of 18, on the islands of Japan, the amount of premium in the year of 1908. Now this is obsolete nowadays, but in Old English you'll find it. Nowadays we say in the year 1908. We do not use the preposition of here, but in the month of July, this is very common even now. Of is used to refer to certain ideas in some phrases. Does not admit of. In the event of his death, the family would get some money. Desirous of, I am desirous of obtaining something. The chances of, what are the chances of India losing the match? Died of, he died of severe pneumonia or he died of heart attack. On account of, the school will be closed on account of Diwali. The best of, the worst of, what is the best of the two? Or the best of the three, the best of all the situation. What is the best of the situation? The best of the thing that could have happened. In the last video, we discussed the preposition of, and in this one, we will discuss the differences between the usage of on, in, at. We will be making a comparative study of where to use on, where to use in, and where to use at. So this is the second video on prepositions. On. When do we use the preposition on? The thing is outside. The thing is outside, and the base of one object touches the top surface of another object. Two conditions. The thing should be outside, not inside, and the bottom of one should touch the top surface of the second. A ball on the table. See that the bottom of the ball touches the top surface of the table. Apples on the table. The apples or the basket or this apple, the bottom is touching the surface of the table. So the thing should be outside and the object should touch the surface. In, the thing is inside and one thing is either fully or partly surrounded by another. Either the thing is inside or one of the thing is completely or partially surrounded by the second. Fishes in water. Water is totally surrounding the fish. Boy in knee-deep water. The water is surrounding the boy partly till the knees. So one thing is surrounding another thing and the thing is inside. At. Neither outside nor inside. We use at to indicate location rather than position. Policeman at the crossing. The location, where is the policeman? Not the position. The clerk at the counter. There is a clerk at the counter. Neither inside nor outside. It is just the location. The man at the desk. So we are just talking about the location of the person or object and not inside or outside. So in means inside and one object surrounds the other, like the water surrounding the fish or water surrounding the boy till the knees. On means outside and the surfaces are touching. The ball is touching the table. The apple is touching the table. And at is near location. Second, on we use with days and dates. On 9th January, on 9th, it's a date. On Monday, it's a day. In is used with months and years. In January or in the month of January. In the year 2022, with month or year we use in. And with a particular time we are using at 6 o'clock, at 10 a.m., at 5 p.m. So days and dates we are using on 9th, on Monday. Months and years we use in January, in the year 2022. And with a time, a specified time, we are using at 6 in the morning or at 6 o'clock in the morning. Certain phrases. Now, no logic can be given. These are so-called set phrases established by long usage and custom. We say in the day, but at night. And we say at night, not at the night, at night. In the day, but at night. In bed, not in the bed, in bed. He was in bed. On time, referring to punctuality, not at time. On time, please come on time, please don't be late. At times means sometimes. At times, these things happen. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but at noon. Not in the noon, but at noon. Now here, we have a few sentences or phrases where both are permissible. Fire on a person or fire at a person. Both are correct. Knock on the door or knock at the door. Someone in trouble. You're always in trouble. That is surrounded by trouble. Depends on something or depends on someone. A program is always on the TV. A person on the committee, but a person is in the team. A player is in the team, but a person is on the committee. We have got 7 days in a week. 1,000 grams in a kilogram. We say an object is at rest, but an object is in motion. And lastly, we will consider two special cases, in versus into and on versus upon. Sorry, this should not be in versus into, this should be on versus upon. On and upon. The heading was a mistake, on versus upon. In refers to contexts when things are at rest. Into refers to contexts when things are in motion. He is busy in the room. He is sitting quietly but busy in the room. He walked into the room. Walking into the room, motion. The fish lives in water. He dived into the lake, motion, dived into. Is there enough air in the tire? Pump more air into the ball. Pumping means flow of air, motion. On and upon. The heading in and into is incorrect. It should be on and upon. We have same thing. On refers to contexts when things are at rest or stable, and upon refers to contexts when things are dynamic or in motion. Selection will depend on performance, a stable condition. Return depends upon market rates because market rates go up and down. dynamic, always changing. He kept it on the table. He banged his fist upon the desk, banging, motion of the hand. I depend on you. Farmers depend upon monsoon. The monsoon is always uncertain. It is always fluctuating when it will come. Again, we are back with another video on preposition, this time the difference between above and over. Both mean on the top of, above and over, the difference between these two prepositions. First of all, let's have a preliminary idea on when to use on, when to use above, and when to use over. On, when they are touching each other. We use on when they are touching each other. For instance, this one, you can see. The load is on the man's head. The load and the head are touching each other. The load is on his head. They are touching. Above and over, they are used when they do not touch. When they do not touch. For instance, the fan is not touching this boy. The fan is also not touching this boy. When it is not touching, over and above is used. When it is touching, the load is touching the head, on is used. Now, above means they do not touch. One is merely at a higher level. This boy, this is the level, and the fan, this is the level. So you can say the fan is above this boy because this is the level for this boy and this is the level for this fan. So the fan is at a greater height. So you can say this fan is above this boy. Over, when one is directly above in the same vertical line here, the fan is exactly in the same vertical line. Then you say it is over this boy. The fan is over this boy because it is the same vertical line. So in case of on, they touch. In case of over, it will be in the same vertical line. In case of above, it may not be in the same vertical line, but one thing is at a higher level than the other thing. The sun is always above my head. See the sun. Whether it is morning or noon or evening, it is always above the head. The sun will be always at a much greater height than the man's head. But only at noon it is over my head. See, exactly in the same vertical line. There is noon time. Only at noon it is over my head, but at all other times it is above my head. We have got a symbolic. This triangle is on this square because they are touching each other. So we are using on. The triangle is on this square. This triangle is above this square because this is at a lower level and this is at a higher level. So the triangle is above the square. Here, the triangle is over the square in the same vertical line. It is the same vertical line. So we can say the triangle is over the square. Over, one of the simplest equivalent we can give is directly or vertically above. When it is directly or vertically above. The red rectangle is on the table because it is touching. The blue oval is above. It is at a higher level. The brown is over or directly above the table in the same vertical line. So on means it should be touching. Over means it should be in the same vertical line. Above means it should be somewhere but at a higher level or at a greater height. Another distinction is that over may denote static position or movement, while above indicates a static position but not motion. Can you see the aeroplane above or over the hills? The aeroplane flew over the hills. Here it is a motion. So we are using over. He hit the ball over the net. See, over the net, because it is motion. The ball is moving. His flat is above ours because the flat is not moving. So a thing which is not moving and a thing which is moving. So over may be used both when they are moving or when they are not moving, but above indicates only a static position and not motion.